Okay, so hey, how you guys doing? I am doing just fine. All is good. I've got a thing coming up, and I'm going to end up probably taking about a month off from shop time, you know. And in that time, I want to, you know what? I want I want to be at the shop, but I can't be. So I'm going to try to push on and get a couple of things done. Stuff that's been in the pipeline. I've been turning a bunch of stuff. You probably know that. And if I can get this coat, this will be the third coat of finish on these 4 bowls. This is my house furniture finish technique, whatever. Not mine, but you know, the one that I use. This is a coat of shellac, and then obviously sanded, and then come on, and then a couple of coats of tung oil, sanded in between coats. I'm ragging it on. This is my final coat. Been sanded. It's wicked smooth. Wicked smooth. This is uncolored pine. It's just a you know what I'm going to call a dough bowl. And you know, like rising dough. Anyway, so this is hopefully the last coat. What will happen if everything goes right is this will be set up nicely, and in a couple of days it'll be hard like rock, and I can steel wool it and wax it, and then it can go, you know, to the shop, and the patrons will love it, right? And that's good. So, but if I don't do it now, then you know how pipelines work, right? I'm not even sure I'm using the right parlance here, but if I don't get it done, I will run out of time tomorrow and not be able to do anything about that the day after, and that'll be that. All right, so there it is, pine bowl, and wiping a coat of tung oil on. Came out nice and smooth. The thing about wiping, you probably heard me say this before, but you wipe it until it's almost dry. That's good. I'm going to set that on these. Pin board. Put it on the rack. Grab the next one and get underway. Be right back. So next on the docket is a cherry bowl. Just, you know, I won't say there's any great amount of order to any of this thing. I'm just sort of going through junk. Did a little cleanup in the shop, trying to move some stuff around. Had some new wood come in. So I decided that I'd stack some of the stuff that I haven't used, that I want to keep for a little bit longer. I've got some spalted maple, some planks that I've got an idea for, but I haven't done anything with, and they were in the way. So new stuff coming, that's good. New stuff, wow, it's big time. New stuff not only coming here, but new stuff going to the drying yard, where it's all stuck up and will set for, I don't know, probably a year and a half. Bring it in just before snow flies next year. Be perfect, I think, for it. It's some 3-inch thick maple. One of my buddies, who's a bit of a sawyer, has a couple of youngsters working there. They're a little bit on the aggressive side. They picked up a nasty old piece of wood, and they cut it, and boy, it came out looking, as you can imagine, pretty nasty. But you can also imagine that that's probably a fun thing to do sometimes. So I said I'd take it, but it's I'm not much of a wet wood guy, so I want it dry. We had it sawn up into pieces that'll dry nicely, and have it stuck. Be great. So that, and, you know, while I was there, of course, I picked up some pine, and you know, it's all to the good. We're doing a project right now that is chewing up a little bit of some wide pine that I had on hand, so it makes sense to bring some more in. This, super. So, cherry bowl, pretty nice. I'm assuming you're catching all of this, right? Of course you are. Of course you are. Anyway, so rubbed in. I'd like to tell you that the warmth of my hands helps the oil penetrate better. I don't think it does. I don't think the oil really gives a flying F. But, you know, looks good to me. So I'm going to just wet fingers, pop it on. This is thin, so I don't have to worry too much about fingerprints making dents in the finish. Looks great. Rack this one, be right back. Got 2 more. So I was moving some stuff, and I ran into a plank of black walnut. Well, I had a bunch of black walnut, some native stuff that was cut out a couple of years ago, and I want to make a hall bureau, like a chest, out of it. And that's all great, so I need it stacked somewhere. It's in good condition, but I'm not ready yet. Not sure why that is, but I'm not. And so we moved it up into one of my mezzanines off the shop floor, and have it stacked nicely in the mezzanine, which is great. It'll stay there in perpetuity till I get to it, I guess. In the meantime, there was a 2-inch plank, and the truth is, it was so heavy. I just couldn't see how I was going to be any help getting that into place. And once, even if we got it up into the mezzanine, I don't know what we'd ever do to bring it down. So I went looking for another spot for it, and I decided I'd throw it underneath my old lathe, because I've got some other stuff there. That's great. It's, you know, it doesn't need to get stacked with its brothers and sisters, because it's just one 2-inch thick piece. But it was about 8 inches too long to fit underneath the old lathe. It's kind of a long plank, almost 12 foot. So, one end had a crack in it, and I decided I could shorten it without anything going wrong. At least it was a reasonable thing to do, to shorten it. So I cut about 8 inches off the end of it, maybe 10, and took the cracked portion of it and split it in half, and it became 2 black walnut bowls. Pretty exciting. It's amazing how stuff just happens like that around here. Anyway, all right, so this one's done. One more. All right. And this is the other black walnut bowl. This one's a little bit thick and clunky, and it's not exactly what I thought I was making when I made it. But I'm kind of, you probably caught on, I'm kind of new at this turning business, and I don't have, I mean, I don't think I've got no sense at all, but I don't have everything that it takes to be a good turner. And one thing is, you know, that last little bit of judgment. So this one ended up a little thick, and it's not that I don't like it, it's just I was hoping for thinner, and so therefore I'm a little disappointed. I know that seems silly, but you know, it's a little silly. But geez, what nice color. And this will be buffed up and waxed. This will be smooth like, I mean, smooth. Anyways, that's great. And the nice thing about it, I mean, as much as I'm concerned that it's a little thick, it's not thick at the edge. So tactily, it's going to be fine. It's just when you pick it up and do that, how thick is it in the middle, it's a little bit thicker than it needs to be. Anyway, but look at me go. So this is great. I stayed a little bit late, so I could get this on. So it will dry, so that I can, my last day before I'm incapacitated, I'll be able to get these things all buffed and waxed. You know how that goes. This is great. Like I say, third coat. Third coat's the charm. This is so smooth. It's just so smooth. No more peckiness. This will steel wool and wax. And I really like the finish. People like gloss, mirrors, and the rest of that. I got it, and I love those people. I know people like that. But this is going to be, you know, not shop worn, but it's going to feel comfortable, not flashy. All right, that's that. So put this one away, and just for the heck of it, before I throw everything to the wind, I'll show you what I just did a minute ago. Be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, so this is what happens when you get old. You buy a shop in the back end of town, and then they build a parking garage next to it. God bless them. All right, so check this out. Little teeny rice bowl. This is a one afternoon sort of expanding chuck, wax finish, piece of cherry. I had a cherry plank that's also underneath the lathe, the old lathe. I had a cherry plank, and it was split at one end. You know how the story goes. And so I cut 6 inches off it and made two bowls. This is just one of them. Anyway, cute little thing. This happened this afternoon. This is why I'm late getting the finish on, but I did, and I'm done. And this will go home. It'll be fun. Well, maybe have rice tonight. Thanks for watching. See you in a little while. Everything's gonna be great. You know, keep it shiny side up, as they say.